Hey guys, my name's Noah.
My name's Austin.
We are the Meta Collectors, and today we have an exciting video. We are going over the reserve list, the recently announced reserve list for Metazoo, and what it,
Highly anticipated.
yeah, oh, insanely anticipated, and what it means for the game, what it means for collectors and the players. So Austin, mechanically unique. What that means, I mean, it's just the card in its specific variation. Let's look at lightning shards, for example. This exact identical card will never be reprinted again. That doesn't mean they can't print a variation or something similar to this.
Yep.
What exists currently that's similar?
Lightning Alley.
Lightning Alley. So, what's the difference?
So they're primarily trying to shift this from once you go and read the artifact essences, what they've essentially turned these into. You read it very importantly states at the bottom you can only have 2 artifact essences in play at one time.
Exactly.
We noticed very early on, once you start mixing multiple auras and stuff like that, you can load your deck with a ton of these guys. Drop 3 of them on turn 1, go into turn 2, like whatever, and
it's nuts.
They're competitively trying to kind of ease that out, because I mean, you drop 3 of these, you play a New Beginnings on turn 2 or something, and you are just like astronomically so much further ahead than your opponent. So
and they're mechanically unique enough to where they're beneficial because of their dual aura. It's really important. So next up we have theme deck and release event promos. To me personally, I think the release event promos are far more important in regards to this announcement, because you have things like Headless Annie, you have Wahila, you have Gassy. Those cards never getting reprinted again. Collectors and players rejoice.
Those cards are very good.
They're very
there are
good.
Some very good ones in the bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then looking at the theme decks, you have Reptoid Ruler, Manta Ray. These heavy hitters, they're unique, but you can still design cards differently and to make them also competitively viable. Let's talk about 5 Aura Mothman.
Sure.
What this means is they're still going to print Mothman. Mothman's still going to be in other sets. It's actually going to be in War. Just that specific Cryptid Nation first edition and second edition Mothman won't be reprinted again. That doesn't mean we won't see it again. But Austin, what Mothman will we never see again?
We'll move it right into the blister promos here. So this is something I noticed real early on when I took a look at some of the numbers on print runs and stuff like that. You look at the first edition blister Mothman promo. Not only is he super good, but I started buying them up a little bit early because I knew as soon as I saw their print, they only printed 25,000 of them was the first run, right? Jersey Devil blister promo was like 50,000, something like that. People were selling those for like 75 cents on the TCG Player. You really can do the math here on some booster boxes, all the loose packs and stuff like that. There's a lot more full hollow Mothman out there than the 50,000 Jersey Devil blister promos that they printed.
Yeah.
So I was like 75 cents. All right, that card's sweet looking. Start copping those up.
Right. And I mean, it's kind of nuts. Moving on to secret rares. I mean, this was the most expected card to be on this list. Yeah, it's very obvious. And then you have holiday promos. This is very interesting. This was probably my what I got most excited about. And it's not because Santa Claus or Ding Bell on the Shelf.
Nope.
It's Abominable Snowman. Just kidding. It was New Year's, New Beginnings, never being reprinted again. What are your thoughts?
It might be the best card in the game.
Yeah.
So it's pretty big. It's a pretty big deal.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. I mean,
they did do the second edition at least. It's not as astronomical as the first 500 ever made of the first holiday promos or whatever
I think it was like 2,000 or something. Yeah.
So
it's nuts. And for collectors, I can't stress this enough. I mean, this is Metazoo showing you that they care about the collecting market, the collectors, and they care about the players because they want you to enjoy the game. They want you to be able to collect it and your cards to have value to you and to others. But at the same time, they want to grow from what they've already printed and move forward and take new steps in designing new things. So it's incredible. It truly, truly is.
Yeah, they've done a good job catering to
Yeah.
both sides of things, I think.
What else is on there?
All the exclusive release medals,
Mm-hmm.
event medals, stuff like that. I mean,
It makes sense to
Yeah.
not get a Nightfall first edition release event medal reprinted. I would be like the most bizarre thing in the world.
Yeah.
My one question with that is are they ever gonna release content creator medals? I mean, I'm not saying anything, I'm just, but yeah, really, really exciting news all around. I mean, it's incredible. Omissions. Was there anything not on
yeah.
the reserve list that you might have thought to be or
Um,
expected to see?
I was expecting to see a little bit more new beginnings, a little bit more growth, just because those cards are super, super ridiculously good. One aura draws 7, one aura. I mean, we did see the holiday version, New Year's New Beginnings, like we just talked about. But I mean, those cards are just stupid good.
Yeah, they're really good and they're very fun to play with. I can't stress that enough. When we say that, oh, this card's too good and it should be on the reserve and never reprinted, that doesn't mean it isn't an absolute blast to play with, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't add complexity to the games and makes Metazoo really what it is.
Oh, Power Up Red.
Power Up Red, what
Power
about
Up
it?
Red. I was expecting to see that on the list.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's a big one. Power Up Red is such a insane card, and let's get into let's dive into this a little bit. We say Power Up Red, and you might think at home, go, oh well, they'll never be able to reprint that again. They can't do anything like it. That's not the case because for me,
plus 50 plus 50. I mean, there's
Yeah.
Power Up Blue, there's Power Up Green. That's what they're talking about,
yeah,
right?
for me personally, I mean, my number one card I would love to see added to the reserve list. I'd almost be willing to bet at some point it's going to be there. Is River of Time. I mean, that card is so uniquely designed. I think it deserves to be on a pedestal. But what that doesn't mean is it doesn't mean that if I have my River of Time and you have a new version of Take an Extra Turn, let's just say they print a 5 aura Take an Extra Turn. Mine isn't strictly better than yours. That's not what that really means. I mean,
New
mine
stuff can be added.
you're right. So mine can cost 1 if I have a river in play, but let's say there's a card that's printed that says if your deck has no Terra in it, do a thing. Or, say I play my river and my river gets destroyed. Now my River of Time is worse, right? So there's a lot of aspects and complexity in this game, and I fully believe in Kevin. Kevin's a genius in my mind. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
And
yeah, they do.
That whole crew, I mean, they are really hitting the nail on the head with this. Like it's insane. It's really, really exciting. You got some other things on there. The Rudy promos.
Yeah.
I mean,
exclusive promos. You want to be exclusive, like,
Right.
It makes sense.
who doesn't love that guy anyway? Like he cracks me up. And like the newest promo, have you seen it? It's so
It does.
goofy.
Yeah,
It's like absolute Metazoo to me, and I think it's just incredible. So personally, my closing statement is: if you're a player, this is good news. If you're a collector, this is even
It's
better
great
news.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
I think that's about it. These guys are really shown they're catering to both sides. They're doing
Yeah.
a great job.
It's
So
it's amazing.
definitely happy with it.
Yeah, incredibly happy. Anyway, guys, that's our thoughts on the reserve list. We appreciate you guys like always. Thank you so much for watching.
Yeah. Appreciate it, guys.